Well, good morning and welcome to Stroke of Genius podcast, Executive Experience. I got a super special guest for you this morning. Markus. He is known as Mayor of Times Square. He's host of Motivation podcast. I can't wait for you to meet him. I'm going to bring him out just to be shoot the breeze, talk about the different various things. So I really hope you enjoy the show. So let me bring my camera.
The Stroke of Genius podcast, hosted by brain aneurysm and stroke survivor Aaron Avila, sharing the experiences of survivors and CEOs. This is your destination for inspiration.
Good morning, Eli.
Hey, good morning, Aaron. Ready to rock?
Thank you, ready to rock. Thank you so much for meeting Eli. What a treat for me to have you here. Thank you.
I can't wait to inspire and motivate the masses out there.
That's really what I want people to walk away with today is motivation. And that is, first, I'm going to have you please introduce yourself for people that don't know you, because I've invited several people that may not know you from my stroke community. And please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Eli Markus. I'm the host of the Motivation Show podcast, where I interview people who can help to inspire, motivate you, and bring you to greater levels of health, and make you a multimillionaire, whatever you dream of in this life, happiness, all the above. And so I'll interview anybody from a Olympic champion to a World Series champion to the number one best-selling nonfiction book authors in the world, you name it, health professionals who look at things alternatively. And the idea there is to just give you thoughts that you may not ever get elsewhere, and also maybe to bring something to your attention the 100th time, which happens to be the tipping point, which makes you act on your dreams.
That is something I want to talk about on today's show. But when you talk about, tell people, how do they get up on your podcast? What do you do?
Well, I was the former CEO of the Seminar Center in New York City. We were the largest adult education company in the country, and I helped, pushing a lot of the best-selling books of the day, from Chicken Soup for the Soul to Don't Sweat the Small Stuff by Dr. Richard Carlson, or Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Dr. Susan Jeffers. Of course, the great motivational speaker Les Brown, The Psychology of Winning with the great motivational speaker Denis Waitley, and on and on and on. So in that capacity, I certainly learned a lot about motivation, and I certainly learned from the greats. And so before that, I was a young, shy kid who probably would have been voted the most shy kid in the entire school. And I didn't like the idea of everybody else seeming to have the fun and having all the marbles. And that's when I sort of applied myself, went to the bookstores and basically bought every single self-help book I could. I've got 1,000 of them that I've read, literally from cover to cover. Some of them I've read 3 or 4 times. And I figured, something, you don't have to live with a label that someone else gives you, or a label that you give yourself, which is actually, even worse when you're giving yourself labels and you don't believe yourself, because it doesn't matter what anybody says to you. It's what you say to yourself.
Yeah, there's an inspirational quote I talked about. I share constantly that the biggest wall you got to climb in life is the one you build in your own mind.
Yeah, there are some people still clinging on to what somebody said when they were 8 years old. Your friend said, "Oh, you got big ears," or you're stupid or whatever. And sometimes those labels are stuck in our subconscious, and we're still buying into that. So we have to get to the point where we believe in only, what that guy up above there, that woman up above is really telling us. And that's, we are built for greatness just like anybody else is, and anything else is a pure lie. We are great, and that's why we're here on this earth. We all have a mission to fulfill.
You and I believe I saturate myself daily with motivational videos and stuff like Les Brown, and just other people, numerous other people. But here's somebody you may know. I don't know her. Dana, what can you say that on the screen?
Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, thank you so much, Dina, and I don't know her personally, but certainly what I'd like to say is, we are all just here. We all have something to accomplish. My mission may be very different from your mission, but we all have a mission, and we have to find out what that mission is. And the way in which we'll find that out is what is in our mind. What are we thinking about most often? So if we keep thinking about the same thing over and over again, that is God's hint that that is our mission.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of Steve Harvey also. Steve Harvey says, imagination, I just quote from Albert Einstein that says, your imagination is everything. It's a preview to coming attractions for your life. And I think so many times in business and in personal, and you know me as a stroke survivor, I had to elevate my attitude and realize I can do it. I can make a difference. And I embrace my stroke. I embrace my brain aneurysm because it's the tools that God chose to put me with you right here, right now. So how can I complain?
Well, I have to say that I admire you because, you can easily make excuses for why you wouldn't even be on air or do a podcast. And you can easily go the opposite direction as you did and say, why not me? You have a gift to offer. And there's a lot of people whose lives will change because of the work that you're doing. And so you're a natural inspiration. And again, I want to commend you for what you're doing right now.
That is like beyond humbling. Oh, my friend, that's like I cry easy, so I'm gonna be careful.
That makes you a bigger man. You can show your emotions. People like real people. The problem today is, particularly men, we're all hiding behind a facade. We're pretending that we're somebody that we're maybe not, or we're, just letting people know our Instagram world, which is, a world of fun. We only show the fun pictures. We don't show the other sides, but, that's not life. Life is ups and downs. And when other people can show their vulnerability, it makes them more real. It makes them more relatable. So some of the greats in the world, when they start sharing who they really were at one point, if I told you that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, which I wasn't, it'd be hard to relate to. But the truth is, I was just a poor kid from Queens, who was just struggling to find his way, was again painfully shy, did not feel he was getting most of the things in life that maybe he deserved. And he felt, something, why not me at some point? And he figured, there's only one way to get it. And that's taking initiative and working hard. Nobody deserves anything where it's just put on their lap. The last time manna came down from heaven was in the Bible, and that was how many thousands of years ago? Life doesn't work that way. You put the pedal to the metal and you let it settle. You got to get out there and you got to make things happen, not just let things happen. Most of us are just letting things happen to us each day. Most days are like deja vu. We wake up and it's the same routine all over again. We don't change. Our goal every day is to be at least 1% better. I'm not saying we need to transform our lives in one day, being overnight millionaires, but we should look at life incrementally. And one of the reasons why people don't achieve the things that they want to is they get overwhelmed. They look at it, 2 years ahead of time. Look at it, just for the moment. Take that one small step, and then move ahead incrementally.
Eadie, I want to back up just a minute because you said I want people to realize they also could make their dreams come true. I did some research on you and I was shocked to find out you were an introvert. You used to sit in the back of the room as a kid and be introverted, a painful introvert, terrible introvert. Now, how did you go from an introvert to Mayor Times Square? I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Something, you'd be surprised what the mind can do, negatively and positively. Once you start believing in yourself, once you start believing maybe in a higher calling, so that all the pressure isn't on you personally, you start to understand that, they're sometimes, and I'm not talking about schizophrenic, but we have more than one personality. We are not the label that we were given to ourselves a long time ago. Les Brown was once called educably retarded. Now, if Les Brown bought into that, where would he be today? Would he be the great motivational speaker influencing millions of people? So again, don't buy into the labels that, you gave yourself or someone else gave you a long time ago. Believe in your greatness. Believe that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Thing is that we are stopped by our fear. And the fear sometimes is something we don't even realize is even there. It lies sometimes dormant. Sometimes it's in our subconscious. And we need to get to the level, as Dr. Susan Jeffers says in the title of her book, that we can feel the fear and we can do it anyway. Now, I'm not saying that we need to eliminate the fear, although there are methods that you can use to help you to do that. But not every fear is going to be completely eliminated. What you need to do is embrace it at some point and say, it's okay. So what? I have a little bit of fear. So, I cry. Once we could admit things and say, okay, so it's okay. It's okay to have fear. But what's not okay is to let the fear prevent you from your destiny and prevent you from helping to change other people's lives, because you're cheating other people when you allow the fear to get to you so that you then cannot share your great gift with others.
Now, that is, gosh, get me so excited. I feel like one of the wheelchairs are running around. But, a fear is a big one. I mean, that's probably, I would have to say one of my biggest battles is the fear that I put inside my mind that limits me, tries to limit me from doing what I'm doing right now. And I can remember that fear. When I first had my stroke, Eli, I thought my life was over. I really did. I was self-employed for 12 years. I lost everything pretty much. And I met a man one day who said this about attitude, about mindset. That man was Jeffrey Hazelite. And I remember watching my videos go, man, he's not one said I can't do it because I'm a stroke survivor. I can make a difference. But you believe everybody out there has a gift.
Every single person has the capacity to make change for themselves and for other people. You just have to believe it. Once you can conceive it, then you can believe it, you can achieve it.
I've seen that play out in my life and the journey I've been, because stroke, brain aneurysm has been the tools God chose to use. And if you ask me, would you want to not take away a stroke, take it away, don't have it? No, it's been the best thing that ever happened to me. Right now, I'll be honest with you, it has.
Sometimes God will put storms in the way to help clear the path for something greater that you never would have done if that storm didn't have come. God works in mysterious ways. Sometimes the storm is the greatest gift. It may not feel that way at the moment. It may not even feel that way 5 years later, but it often is a gift. Some of the greatest things that I've achieved were at the moment when I was fired from my first job, and only job for that matter that I was fired from. At the time, I thought it was the end of the world. I was walking out in the elevator, and the guy had fired me. He was cursing me as I was out in the elevator. It was not a pretty scene. And I had a few choice words for him as well. But the truth is, looking back, he did me a great favor, because he elevated me, put me on a path that I would never have maybe taken the initiative to go on myself. It was the wrong place for me to be in. And I shouldn't have waited until I got fired. I should have quit. See, so sometimes, the universe works in mysterious ways, pushes us in ways that at the moment, very uncomfortable. You say, why me? And then it's only in retrospective years later that we realize what a gift we've been given. To start all over again is a gift. It can be scary. It can be intimidating. But what we need to do is we need to stop having plan Bs. See, we need to actually burn the boats behind us, because when we burn the boats behind us, we have no other choice but to succeed. And we'll find the way. We have to have the faith. Without faith, we could not succeed. We could not move forward. We could not have the guts. But once we burn those boats behind us, we have no choice. If we're hedging the bet, then, we're going to find reasons and excuses why we are not going to do what we need to do, because we have that safety net. Get rid of the safety net, burn the boats.
Wow, that is now, people. If you just heard Jordan Thomas says hi. Let's give Jordan Thomas his hello. Hey,
Hello,
Jordan. Thanks,
Oh,
Jordan.
my buddy Jordan, I know him.
What's that? He said, what's that? And it's so true. I mean, I never thought about it that way, to burn the boats behind you. And it's catching the bet for success in the future, because you can't look back. You got no choice.
Go all in. You got to be immersed into the progress of success. It's a process, actually, not progress. Once you immerse yourself, and when I say immerse, you don't dabble with success. You don't find an easy path to success. There are no overnight schemes to success. There are cute things like The Secret, but The Secret, is just one cornerstone. There is no one thing that's going to propel you, other than the fact that you have to be completely immersed, completely in. And again, if you didn't burn the boats behind you, if you still have 3 jobs, are you completely in? Now, it doesn't mean you quit the 2 jobs. You can take baby steps while you're in those other jobs to set the foundation. But at some point, you've got to cut the umbilical cord. If you don't cut the umbilical cord, you are a tire kicker. And you don't want to be a tire kicker. You want to get to the level where you believe in yourself and just move forward and cut everything out and just focus, immerse.
Oh my God, Eli, you're changing my life so peak, and I get tingles. You're 100% correct. I mean, I think people tend to hold back. Number one, because of what we're talking about earlier is fear. They're afraid of failing, so they don't try. But I think fear needs to be burned with the boats. Just burn the fear, because it keeps you going.
Here's the thing, Aaron. There is nobody on this planet that has the perfect solution and the perfect formula for business or for anything else. There doesn't exist. Perfection doesn't exist. So once you get the thought of perfection out of your mind, that you have to be perfect or even near perfect, once you can get that thought out of your mind, you're freed up to do what you're ever going to do. And you can accept less than perfect, because we're all less than perfect. I don't care if it's Michael Jordan or anybody else. Nobody goes into something, with the understanding that they're going to have a perfect record. No baseball player, no football player, no any other sportsman has perfect records. Yeah, maybe somebody in boxing may go 52-0, but it's not even then. Along the way, they're still going to get hit. So it's not perfect. They're still getting, they may out hit the other guy 10-1, but they're still getting hit. So as long as you can go in there and realize there's going to be the ups and downs, and it's the people that succeed in life are the people that can just take the punches and realize that the fight's not over. And it's not about the battles, it's about winning the entire war. So if you watch CEOs, they have a million problems every day. They just don't let them get them down, and they proceed despite the issues and despite the challenges. And when you can move forward and realize, don't take it personally that, 10, 20 things happen a day. Well, welcome to the club. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, it's when you and I were talking earlier in the green room, we were talking about the hindrance of attitude. And it's important, I think it's really important that everybody realizes out there and also everywhere in the world, that attitude, your attitude, you have to believe it to receive it. You got to believe you're built for greatness.
One of the most powerful things in the world is, Aaron, and we all have it and we all can do it, all day long, and can make a tremendous difference in other people's lives. You know what that is? It's a smile. A smile. People like other people that smile. People gravitate to people that smile. It makes people feel good when you smile. So why not smile more? Doesn't take a lot. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to have a hard education. You can impact people simply by a smile. We have power beyond our own imagination to impact everybody we come across. One of my goals in life is simply to make everybody slightly better, simply because they come across my path. And I can do that maybe just with a smile. Maybe not all my words resonate, but usually a smile will resonate. So we all have power and a gift.
Well, we already impacting alive now. Dana is smiling now. She's smiling. So great.
That's great.
That's great. That's really great. You know, you're the epitome. Now, I want to talk a little bit about you from introvert. You began to believe in yourself. And then you went from extrovert. Now look at you. You've been on Broadway. I'm assuming you've done Broadway plays or what?
I'm sorry, I didn't follow that
Have
question.
you been on Broadway? Have you been doing Broadway at all?
I didn't get that.
Have you been doing Broadway plays?
Oh, Broadway. Okay. Yeah. Give my regards to Broadway. Well, I work with the Broadway community in New York City because the executive director of New York City's largest visitor magazine, City Guide. And for those that love New York City, and of course, there's millions and millions around the world that do love New York City and love Broadway, you can go on my website, which is cityguideny.com. You can even join my Facebook group, which is Everything to Do NYC. And we just hit a milestone, Aaron, over 100,000 members in 1 year.
Well, congratulations. That is amazing. And that's most of the tourism of New York City, right?
Well, that's why they call me mayor of Times Square. Jay Leno, of course, affectionately, he called me Mr. New York City, which was nice. And so, yeah, I've been doing in this industry for a very, very long time. And of course, who doesn't love New York City and who doesn't love the things that New York brings, and especially Broadway. There's no other place in the world where you can get, 35 shows, all top quality and all the greatest performers in the world. And I've seen a lot of incredible performances over the years.
Amazing. I want this to be people to walk away with something. So if you were to give people advice, here's your microphone. Give them advice that may change their life. What is it? What do you see most out there people doing to stop their success?
Take a piece of paper and write down the things that make you smile, that make you happy, that float your boat, that get you excited. Write them all down and gravitate to them and have a list of what I call non-negotiables. So you shouldn't just let the day just pass, deja vu, status quo. You should have a plan for your day. When you wake up in the morning, what's your non-negotiable? Well, for me, it's water, because we can't survive without water. That's the most important thing. You've not had water for maybe 10, 12 hours. So I wake up first thing in the morning, it's water. You can wake up first thing in the morning and have some gratitude, because if you have gratitude, you start the day off in a positive frame of mind. Then you're thinking in the right direction already. You're getting your day set up. It's like a ball player. They don't just go out there and just wing it. They're out there and they're warming up. So how are you warming up for your day? For me, it's also exercise. First thing in the morning, I like to get that out of the way, because when I exercise, the endorphins flow into my brain, into my mind, and I'm more positive. That's a natural state of high. We want to be in a natural state of high. We don't need to depend on cigarettes, and we don't need to depend on alcohol to make us feel good. And too many of us are depending on outside substances, drugs, whatever else, to make us feel good. We can naturally feel good. Look at me, I'm feeling good. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of those things. I'm high on life. I wake up in the morning and I've trained my mind to feel good, because I'm doing, some of the small things small to maybe someone else, big for me. You know, I'm out, I've already done my exercise. You know, I've already drank my water. I've already set the stage for my day. And I believe that today is going to be a day that's going to live in infamy for me, because I'm going to find a way to make this day special. Getting on your podcast is an example of that. I didn't do that yesterday, I didn't do that the day before. So every day, find something that's special.
Wow, Eli. I mean, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. You know, I can't believe we're basically got a few more minutes left, but, you know, I think mindset is everything. I mean, I sat there suicide after I had my stroke, and I thought it was over. And then I realized it's the way I think. And Jeff Hazlett taught me, think big and act bigger. And look at me today. I thought for sure my speech deficit, my being a wizard, was going to limit me for the rest of my life. Ended up be catapulting me. Now look, I'm interviewing the mayor of Times Square.
Well, it just goes to show you, you know, that you got a choice. And at the end of the day, it's not really what happens externally around us, because we blame a million things. We blame our father, our mother, the way we grew up. This happened to me, that happened to me. It's our color, it's our religion, it's this, it's that. And it's only one thing at the end of the day. It's what we believe. It's what we choose to feed into our mind. And if we can't get enough good stuff in our minds, then we need to find a mentor, and we need to listen to podcasts, and we need to read the motivational books. You don't think I get down? You don't think there are days that, you know, that I'm not with it? I'm not always Mr. Cheerful either. You know, I mean, I'm human. We're all human. Anybody who pretends that they're up all the time is pretending, you know. So we need, you know, just like oxygen and water, we need to constantly supply ourselves with more doses of motivation. People will say to me, you know, Eli, I took that seminar, you know, I listened to the podcast, and, you know, I'm still the same way. Okay, well, you know something, just keep working at it. You know, it's not going to, one thing isn't going to transform us. Sometimes one idea can, but most of the time we need daily sustenance, the same way we have those non-negotiables of water, exercise. Maybe one of the non-negotiables need to be getting motivated every day. But every one of us should find a coach or a mentor, someone that can help keep us at the level that we need to be, very high. Because often, unfortunately, for whatever reason, we can't do it by ourselves. Why do you think premium athletes, you know, all have coaches? And they have multiple coaches for different things. So why can't we, and why shouldn't we?
That's so true. Now I myself be going back and listen to podcasts, because you dropped some big gold nuggets. So I appreciate that. But let's take that last minute or two. Tell everybody, I think, what your social media, how they get hold of your social media.
I'm pretty active, you know, and certainly LinkedIn. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Eli Markus, of course, and then you can find me on Instagram as well. You know, and you can find me on Twitter, the Eli Markus on Twitter. So I'm on all of those different platforms, and so I'm easy to. And if somebody wants to email me, I always welcome people to take that first step in that action. And you know, when you're listening and you're involved in a seminar or an event or something, and you have an opportunity to connect with somebody, you shouldn't overthink it. You should just do it. That's called initiative. And that's one of the great things that'll lead us to success, when we have that word in our mind that we need to take more initiative. So people can email me at motivate@gmail.com. That's motivate, the number 2, and then Z, A to Z, get it? motivate@gmail.com. Ask me any question that you want, and I'll be happy to. And the only way in life that you succeed is by asking more questions.
Wow, I love that. Now it's perfect. It's pretty much thank you so much, Eli, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, Aaron. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you, Eli.